Welcome, everybody, to the Title Alone Podcast, where we watch and review movies based solely on their title. We have the impossible job of avoiding all trailers, posters, and anything else to do with movies, just so that we can go into the movie spoiler-free. This episode, we're seeing The Invisible Man.
I'm Brad.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Mike. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. So, what are we seeing again?
The Invisible Man?
The Invisible Man.
Is it The Invisible Man?
The Invisible Man.
Okay.
Maybe just Invisible Man.
Okay. This matters. This
what
is
about
important.
Invisiman? What about Invisiman?
Invisiman. See, that's very different.
Yeah.
Invisiman is like...
He's an
that's...
Invisalign salesman.
I was going to say that he's definitely a superhero. But,
Mine's better.
yeah, that's true.
So, Ryan, what do you think The Invisible Man is going to be about?
I've thought about this, and I'm pretty sure that it's a heist movie.
Ooh.
So
like
this
it.
guy, Invisible Man,
Uh-huh.
he's not physically invisible.
He's got a story behind it and
Yeah,
everything.
he's not physically invisible. He's socially invisible. So he's so nondiscreet that he can walk in anywhere, including a bank, and nobody would notice him, except for some people. Like, people with ADD would notice him. So when he goes to case a joint, all he's doing is looking to see who notices him rather than worry about security cameras.
Oh, okay. That would actually be kind of a cool movie.
That would be kind of cool.
Is there anyone big in it?
No.
No. Okay. It's all...
No, this is
No one
Andy.
we would
This
know.
is
I'm
definitely
gonna
an Andy
say-
film.
I'm thinking this is like Dax Shepard level. You know, where it's not like... It's like
Okay.
B or C list, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Brad, what is your...
Well, actually, I already know what it's about. It's actually a documentary about. It's a documentary.
so much
It's-
certain. I know what it's about.
Yeah,
Guys.
it's actually a documentary from the perspective of all girls in high school about me. It's
You were homeschooled.
well, yeah, but at that age, it didn't help. Okay, that made me even more invisible. But so
Did your mom ignore you? Is that...
well, well, yeah, my teachers didn't even like me, but anyway.
there's so many jokes about
yeah,
homeschool.
I know, it's excellent. So
You're only homeschooled for like a year, though, right?
I was like 4 years,
Oh,
5
okay.
years.
So almost 5 years.
Yeah.
I forgot we were almost the reason you didn't graduate. So.
Well, no, that was actually because I just couldn't give a single shit about my schoolwork, and I was like, I'm just gonna stay up till 3 a.m. playing video games, and then
hang
not,
out at the comic book shop.
and hang out at the comic book
and
shop.
not do any schoolwork.
Yeah,
whatsoever.
but if I didn't do that, this would have never happened.
So you were the Invisible Man.
I was the Invisible Man. But no, what I think it's actually about is I think it's going to be not a superhero movie, but a power movie, right? So it's like it's not about a world with superheroes and shit, but I think it's gonna be like a guy develops powers in a sort of Watchmen-esque, you know, like a Dr. Manhattan-esque fashion. And
I was about to say, because there's no one in Watchmen that has superpowers but Dr. Manhattan, so...
yeah. So basically it's...
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
That's nice. I mean, he doesn't know.
That's true.
It's probably
Should
our
have seen
fault.
the microphone. Yeah, that's true. This format's such a dumb idea. We're like, why are these cars so loud? What the hell? I'm trying to get good audio.
No, we're not.
No.
So,
It's just, you know,
true.
the downfalls of traveling to a theater and
Exactly.
recording at the same time.
Exactly. So then I think it's gonna be on a grit scale. It's gonna be grittier than Avengers, but less gritty than The Boys or probably Watchmen.
I would hope it's less
Well,
gritty
yes,
than The
obviously,
Boys.
obviously, it's going to be less gritty than The Boys. But I'm just saying that that's where it's falling, and I think that he's going to gain his invisibility powers through some sort of chemical experiment. That's my guess.
Anybody you think?
Dax Shepard.
Oh, okay. You're specifically going with Dax
Yes,
Shepard.
he's in
Okay.
it. He's the Invisible Man.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So it's a comedy then.
Yeah, well, it's
Or
actually
is
he's
it
actually already invisible next to his wife, which is Kristen Bell. Yes,
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Do you think? Oh, Ryan, we didn't ask you what rating you think it is.
Oh, well, we haven't done your story
I know,
either.
but you got to give your rating. What you think
Oh.
it is? Like
What?
PG,
Oh,
PG-13.
it's It's gonna be a B. No, it's gonna be an R for sure.
R?
All right.
Okay.
I'm going 13.
So you went with, what was yours again, Ryan? I want to see how different we
It's
all
a
are.
heist movie.
Heist movie. Brad, yours is a superhero movie. I am very positive it is a spy movie. Because The Invisible Man, right? But where I'm falter here is that I think the main character is Mr. Bean. And he's like one of those bumbling spies that just everybody... It's kind of the same concept as Ryan's, where everybody kind of ignores him because he's such an idiot. There's no way he could be a spy. And I think he is the best spy.
Best spy.
And it has Rowan Atkinson. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
It is.
But I'm going PG-13 because I don't think Mr. Bean puts out these adult content movies with their R ratings. So for some reason I'm on this kick that I only think we're going to see children's movies. I don't understand why.
There's a lot of them, and we generally try to avoid them outside of this. So that's why it feels like we're gonna nail one eventually, which we kind of did last time with with Call of the Wild. So yeah,
but I've been wrong every time. So like I'm absolutely positive I'm correct this time because you can only be wrong so many times before you get it right.
You
so
just keep making the same guess.
Yeah, it's definitely PG-13 though.
Okay, so you think Rowan Atkinson is making?
I don't even know if he makes movies anymore.
Not really.
He's got to. He's been knighted by the Queen.
That's true.
It's like Elton John. He's got to continue doing
Elton
his
John's
stuff
still
to
making
stay
movies.
a knight. Exactly. That's what I mean. He was just in a movie.
What? Kingsman?
Kingsman 2.
That was years ago.
It was 2 years ago.
It was not. It was like 5
Ryan,
years ago.
all right.
Oh, I have no.
Pull this up.
Oh, okay.
Somebody's
No, I
gotta
can't.
pull
I
it
can't. You think I'm gonna go on the IMDb?
true.
Are you
That's
fucking
true.
insane?
That's true. I didn't think about that.
You're trying to ruin Ryan. trying to get him off the show and be like, hey Ryan, could you look at this article for me?
This is how we boot someone off.
Next 30 movies to come out in 2020. Shit.
Well, you can't play anymore. Yeah, I think it is a coup. No, he still acts for sure. I just saw a picture of him the other day.
Yeah, that must be the axe.
But no, it was a current picture of him, and he still looks like Mr. Bean. He doesn't look old.
Well, he didn't
like
transform into another man.
No, but what I'm saying is he still looks young enough that he would have the ability to act. You look at some of the guys, like some of the actors who you're like, shit, that's Nick Nolte?
No.
God, how is he alive? Like, yeah. You look at some of these guys, and dude, it's not great. They're not doing well.
Yeah. Like Jan Michael Vincent. Not looking good.
I don't know.
He was in Airwolf.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not looking good nowadays.
You know who surprisingly looks good? I don't know his name, but the guy who directed The Room. He hasn't aged a minute.
I think he has some surgeries.
You think?
For sure. Because he had money. He had like gang money.
He had to have.
Yeah, we had like mob money, and then like the people, they did like this documentary about it, and then they were like, hey, Tommy, where'd you get your money? He's like, oh, don't worry about it. Right. Oh, don't worry about it. I just have it. And it's like, and he's like, so where'd you come from? Be like, nowhere. it's like, I don't know how I feel about this guy now.
I don't know if I would feel threatened by him though.
Maybe. If he got mad, I don't think I'd want to be around him.
He did get mad. I saw him in the movie get mad.
Oh,
and he just
true.
goes, oh, hey, Mark. So
welcome to The Room podcast.
Yeah.
Where we talk about The Room every episode.
So, this is the first time. I think maybe second.
Probably. Maybe second. I think we mentioned the Room at least one other time.
So, how far off base, Brian, how far off base would your movie be?
The most off base kind of movie.
Like, it's called The Invisible Man. Obviously, underwater, it was not a financial
film.
film.
I think would be a movie in the perspective of high school girls that just can't see this one dude in high school. it's just really weird, and they disappeared completely. And like went somewhere, maybe homeschool. But I don't know. That's probably the most off base that it could be.
That's fair. It's weirder than mine. Well, I think that it's possible. So this is kind of similar to Ryan's actual guess, which is I was thinking that it would have to be a story about a man who is just completely unrecognizable, basically, by other people, right? So it's just that he lives just a sad life. It's just a drama about a man who just.
I don't want to watch that.
I know, but yeah, I mean that's pretty far off from a man having actual invisible superpowers.
Yeah, it's like.
Oh my god! I just figured out what this movie actually is.
Okay.
What is it actually?
It's a spin-off of Black Mirror about the one guy that is blocked by, was automatically blocked by everybody, so he's just pixelated.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Oh, the god! That's spoiler alert. It's fucking awesome.
Oh.
It was his punishment for whatever, some crime or some shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is a futuristic or sci-fi, which would be awesome.
That would be
Changing
awesome.
my guess.
I can't
No.
remember.
No.
I can't remember now what mine was.
Oh, sorry.
Thanks. Hold on. I'll think about it. So figure out your Rotten Tomato scores as I figure out.
Oh, my actual Rotten Tomatoes score for this is probably like it's 28 to 30. It's gonna be this actual movie we're about to watch is definitely gonna be garbage.
All right, figure mine out.
All right.
So mine, how far off base we could be, is do you remember the movie with Kevin Bacon called Hollow Man?
Yes.
It was about an invisible man. But what I learned in a young age is what Kevin Bacon's penis looks like from that movie.
Oh.
Because there were so many like thermal shots, and did we actually have to use a naked Kevin Bacon to shoot that scene?
I think
so
it was
now,
necessary.
now as an adult, to haunt my dreams even further, what they've done is they've recreated that movie, but only from the nipples to the knees. So you only see thermal Kevin Bacon penis, but a much larger version of it this is funded by Kevin Bacon because he now wants he hasn't been in much, so now he wants people to remember. Hey, remember when my dong was flying around in Hollow Man? Now you do.
What is it? It's 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, right?
Yeah.
It's 7 inches of Kevin
Ooh,
Bacon.
And what if? What if?
Oh my god.
What if? I regret bringing this up. What if they deep fake and occasionally they pull out, but every character has Kevin Bacon's face? So it's Hollow Man recreated with only Kevin Bacon, playing Kevin Bacon, and most of the time when it's in Kevin Bacon form, it's just nipples to knees.
Yeah. The real large penis. I like this one.
I think that is as far off base as I can
Yeah,
possibly
I will
get.
give my vote to you. That is the most off base I think we could be.
It may be in the same genre.
Maybe. The only scene I remember from Hollow Man was being a child and opening the door to my room and looking out on the TV and then seeing Hollow Man pull like a blanket off of a sleeping woman, and it was real creepy.
Dude,
and
the
that's
whole
all I remember.
movie is creepy.
Yeah.
Like, they took an idea of the story of the Invisible Man, which was like a monster movie, like the Universal Studios Monsters, the Invisible Man. Or no, he's in, is he in Mystery Men?
Yes.
The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Wait, did you just figure out what this movie's actually about?
I may have.
Oh my god.
So,
Wait, hold on, pause. Wait, shit, did we just actually figure out what the movie's about?
No, it is definitely a spy movie with Rowan Atkinson.
I still think it's 7 inches of Kevin Bacon.
So it was that it's a good concept for a movie. Like, it's cool, and like the CGI now can kind of do it. And they turned him into a rapey dude. The entire thing was like, I'm invisible. I guess I could fuck anybody.
Whoa, wait, was
like-
this a Weinstein movie?
I don't know.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Aren't there a lot of Weinstein movies?
There are. Well, most of Tarantino's movies were Weinstein funded. They were like a Weinstein group, you know.
Yeah. Tarantino does a lot of foot shots too.
Oh yeah,
It's weird.
yeah.
I mean, Tarantino's a weird dude. But
He is.
like, he makes, good films. So
good,
I guess.
good foot films. My favorite kind.
Oh no.
I really hope there's some nice invisible feet in this one. Every episode, I'm just
What?
like talking about the feet. I'd be like, well, I saw there was 6 or 7 foot shots in this one, and at 2 hours and 1 minute, there was my favorite foot shot when they were on the beach.
What if we get into this and it's a movie that's completely, there's no one in it because they're all invisible. It's just voices the entire time. It's just static scenes with voiceover.
God, that'd be a terrible time for this to be a foreign film too. And we're like, it's all in French. There's no subtitles, and everyone's invisible. I hate it. Why are we here?
I don't know what they're saying. They're just describing a room, maybe? I don't know, because it keeps changing rooms, and I don't understand what is happening.
Wait, there's a shot of an office. Does he have a job? Or is he, like, filing his taxes?
It's just a video of somebody touring a house at an open house.
And we're like, ooh, I wonder what interesting thing is going down right now.
So we'll judge it, I guess, by, well, once we get to the theater, the age bracket going in.
Oh, God.
Because that's really our
yeah, that's our first big...
Our first cue as to what's happening is whenever we see that it's... Well, then again, we say that, and then Fantasy Island had a very big spectrum of you should not bring your children to this movie.
Yeah, but it was a 13, so that kind of made sense. PG-13 is basically PG anymore.
Call of the Wild as well had a big spectrum.
Yeah.
But that's understandable because it turns out it's a book people read. Mm-hmm. No one in this car read it. But it is a book that people read.
It's a book that educated people read.
Oh, yeah. Brad, you have your Rotten Tomato score now.
I'm going to go with like a 35. I don't think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be okay, you know? Like, it's going to be like, I won't hate it, but it's not going to be great.
I have faith in Rowan Atkinson. Mr. Bean produces some good shit. So I'm going 87. I'm going 87.
Yeah? Is it going to be like...
I don't know anything about the movie, so you might as well give it a high score.
It's going to have the best prop in pratfall comedy of 2020, and it's going to get an 87 Rotten Tomatoes. Be like, when Mr. Bean fell on that banana peel, he slipped. It was the perfect slip.
Listen,
10 out of 10.
I like the Mr. Bean comedy stuff. It's good. It's good British comedy.
I've only seen clips of Mr. Bean.
You're missing out.
I wasn't really impressed.
I don't know if I can go to the movie with you guys. This is some good shit we're talking about, and I'm just getting shit on by watching clips.
I just watched a video or clip on YouTube of him being in a shop and some guy coming up to him saying, "Hey, you look a lot like Mr. Bean." He says, yeah, I get that a lot, or whatever. He says, it's because I actually play Mr. Bean. He's like, no, I mean, you look real close to him, but you're not him. He's like, okay.
That's like Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Or Tony Hawk. Be like, your name's Anthony Hawk, like Tony Hawk. Be like, yeah. It's like, you kind of look like him too. Be like, yeah, I get that a lot. It's like, well, dude, how do people not? He's the Invisible Man. This is about Tony Hawk.
Did you see the people tweeting about him at the Oscars? Because they were like, that old dude in the crowd looks like Tony Hawk. And it's like, he said something about how, like, wait until they find out or something like that. Like,
I wonder if that's just the meme, though. I feel like at this point, it's just, it's transcended from reality to memehood. I
just don't think people realize, like, how old they've gotten.
Yeah.
Like, Tony Hawk, like, the Pro Skater game, was, like, almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So, like, they're like, oh, Tony Hawk still skateboard everywhere. And you're like, dude broke, like, every bone. You know, he was in movies, too. He was in movies, too. So, his first movie was... what was that movie? I don't know. He was a stunt double, and I think for David Spade. He was a stunt double for David Spade in a skateboard movie in LA. And so back in the day, before they could skateboard on like you weren't allowed to, there were no skate parks anywhere. So you skateboard in cities. They were shutting down areas of the cities for them to skate on, and they thought it was like the best thing. But Tony Hawk had a problem because he got fired because David Spade, obviously not a tall dude, Tony Hawk grew like 8 inches over the summer before they filmed, and so they couldn't use him anymore as a stunt double. And then, if you saw the movie with Will Ferrell, the Dad movie. What is it called? With Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg.
Oh,
I can't think of the name. Right. No, not the other guys. It was where
Daddy's Home?
Daddy's Home. Will Ferrell skateboards off of the roof of the house, right?
Yeah.
To prove that he's like a cool dude. That's Tony Hawk.
Really?
Yeah, that's Tony Hawk.
Huh.
So...
Tony Hawk can still shred. I watched it a year ago. He did a 900 for the first time in like years, because you don't just attempt 900s when you're 54.
Correct, yeah.
You know, but he was like, fine, I'll do it on camera, and he did a 900. It's crazy.
Right. We're gonna leave that at Tony Hawk doing 900s. All right, let's go see this.
All right.
Just a heads up, the next part is going to be completely filled with spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie yet and don't want to be spoiled, stop here.
Now we're recording.
Welcome
back to Is It Blumhouse or Is It Not?
Golly.
Welcome to Wicker Man 2, The Invisible Man, where a creepy invisible man terrorizes a woman once again.
I was close with my... it's definitely not gonna be this film.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
bad. I just when I got in, you're like, oh, it's blue, whatever.
Blumhouse. Yeah.
Oh God, no, not again, please, not so soon. Too soon.
What I don't understand, right, is
How
So
these movies are being made.
no. So Universal wants to bring back their monsters.
Uh-huh.
They announced that a couple years ago. Is this their plan?
Yeah, just to make
Just,
weird,
like,
gritty.
It's like
Right.
DC's plan to make shitty fucking superhero movies.
Yeah.
They're. So the Invisible Man is just a suit
Yeah.
with a bunch of cameras on it.
So I'm guessing you guys didn't like it?
No, Brad. Did
It
you?
was-
I liked it.
It
Oh
was
my
the
God,
perfect piece of cinema.
you are the problem here.
See, I don't know. I didn't dislike it. I
I thought it was. I thought it was
wouldn't
a
put it
good
as-
use of invisibility. I mean, it was like I think they did it pretty well. I think that the invisible scenes were pretty cool. I think the suit malfunctioning was cool.
That was cool. My issue is how does the suit work? Just straight up. So if there's
Well, it has cameras all
Okay.
over it.
But how does a camera also display?
Through
It's like projection.
No, because when they showed the suit,
Yeah, but I mean, it's just
It's like it's
I'm not like
two-way glass.
no, there was no glass because you saw the cameras moving
Yeah, so
when
Yeah,
she
there was
touched the
also a
suit.
lens.
My issue is they
It-
would have never done that scene where the suit with all the cameras. It would have been perfectly fine. They did that scene where the cameras are exposed, so you know that the cameras are what's obviously. The concept is I've seen it before in real life. It works, so it's not a. Can I not go this way?
I think you can. This is just the Mets. So
I know, but so the camera it's a functioning technology that exists in the real world. Like so they're correct. Like an invisibility suit in the future would work that way, where it was most likely be cameras displaying onto the other side.
Yeah.
But we haven't gotten it to work properly now because cameras can't also display.
Yeah, but there's.
Yeah, I mean, this
there's
is supposed to be
glass.
future
I'm not-
technology.
Yeah, maybe not.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
It's future technology now.
Well, I mean, but it's also like science fiction.
Yeah.
It's a poor use. If they shot a scene to show how cool the suit was,
Yeah.
and it just doesn't function. It makes it unimmerses you.
It
To
does
me-
not
immerse me in
to-
any way.
to me-
The camera's moving in and out, and it's basically there's something. I would say
There was
something
nothing
in-
there.
Well, you can't see it. That's the point.
You can when the suit is seen. It's not displaying things around it because that would distort the field. It is a one-to-one representation behind it, which means the suit is displaying everything.
Yeah, but
There's no
You
screen.
just don't see. But it's not a
You don't
screen.
see
It's
the-
like a.
that's- You would not see this.
However, the idea is that it's some kind of technology that we don't understand, and it is like whatever it might be. Either the camera, it's behind the cameras, or the hexagons around the cameras, or it could just be some kind of projection technology. I mean, it's like complaining about a science fiction movie in space.
It's not
Like, how do they get
complaining
to
about
light speed in
the
2
suit-
seconds? It's
the
like
suit necessarily working. That's not what I'm complaining about. I can ignore it. I assumed what they were doing was the cameras and the screens. That's assumed
Yeah,
when you look
just-
at the suit. My issue is that as soon as they did the scene where she finds the suit, they do this really elaborate CG scene with this suit, and then you go, oh, this doesn't function. This can't
No,
function
I
the
think
way it works.
You're definitely putting too much thought into
I'm
it.
not putting too much thought in it because let's even go even further into the movie. There's a car wreck scene, and she gets into a car that just smashed into the back of another car, starts it up, and drives it away. They have no thought process for how
It's
any
about-
technology or
it's a
mechanical
terrible
works.
movie.
Yeah,
We got
that's
to
my
that
issue.
point.
Is every time something like that would
Did
happen.
you miss the most major plot hole in the entire fucking movie that was hit on like 3 times?
What?
This fucking secret compartment in this house that this guy built, and somehow he doesn't know about it?
It's a ventilation shaft.
No, bullshit. It's a fucking hidden panel that would take a master craftsman to install.
To me, it looked like she was pulling off a ventilation shaft.
No, it was wood.
No, it wasn't. It had the slits in it. She turned it one time and it had the slits. Because I was with
Yeah.
you the first time.
Yeah,
it was the second scene where she did it that you could see the
Even
slits.
still, the motherfucker knows a suit is missing.
Yeah. That's another issue. It's so overly plot holy.
Well,
It's
but hold on.
so
He
bad.
also, but also some of that is him underestimating her.
True.
So the whole movie, he's underestimating her. So like he basically his downfall was whenever she pulled the ploy with the pen where she's gonna kill herself. He assumed, oh, she's weak, she's killing herself. Not, oh, this is a ploy to
Yeah.
get me.
To damage
So,
the suit.
yeah. So like it was all
And
about
get everything on camera.
It was all about him being a narcissist.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
So like I think that he could go, yeah. Well, she's gonna come here. She
Yeah,
fell
and-
for it. She believes it, and then she goes, haha, no, fuck you. I know what's up. I'm gonna
Yeah.
kill you. And granted, it's not the best story arc in the world, but I think that a lot of it can be chalked up to just like his personality flaws and her exploiting
Correct.
it.
No, but his personality would have, like, as far as finding the suit. Okay, she shows up at his house. Listen, he shows up at his house, takes the suit, or the suit becomes missing.
He doesn't-
He's chasing her down, trying to find her. Finds her in a closet, a closet with one fucking way in and out.
He doesn't know the suit's missing.
Yeah, he does.
No, he
How
doesn't,
would he
because
know
it's
that?
invisible on the rack. He doesn't
True.
know that, and the code was different. She guessed the code. It was
Yeah.
invisible on the rack whenever it was sitting there.
Yeah,
so
but
when
they
she
have
left,
to have. They would have to have 2 suits the entire time. They'd have
there
to-
was 2 suits the entire time.
Yeah, so he wouldn't.
No,
So
well, there
the
must
one
have been
in
a
that.
third suit actually because, or no, he just took the one suit.
No,
and gave
yeah,
it to
because
his brother.
got the
Yeah.
one suit.
He's
yeah.
like, he probably
Yeah.
came up with some
Yeah.
plan. Was like, oh, well, this is what we're gonna do, and then like convinced him that it was gonna be like, you do
Yeah.
this and then run away, and I'll do this, and it'll be
Yeah.
a grand plan. Yeah. So basically, the one suit was still in the rack.
Which-
he took the one suit and gave, because why would he want a second suit? Because
It
in his
actually-
mind, he's gonna get caught.
It actually makes sense that the guy that was in the building whenever she went to kill herself was probably the brother, and that's why he got outsmarted.
Mm.
He's not as smart as his other brother.
Yeah.
The actual bad guy is
Yeah.
is a lot smarter than the brother.
That's a good point. I didn't
So
think about
it may
that.
have been the brother in that suit the entire time. We
you
don't know. We don't know. There's
yeah,
no way
yeah,
of
there's no way to
knowing
know.
if.
To me, I feel like, I guess that would be a plot hole if it wasn't. So I think
Oh wait, we do know it was him. We do because he talked.
Yeah,
He
because he
talked.
was. Yeah, because
Yeah, he
that's what I was gonna say. Because it was like he
So
got.
how did he get to his brother? All right, hold on.
Yeah.
She was following him.
Yeah.
He got to his brother, exchanged the suit, gave his brother the guy's address, all while she's following him?
Well, then they would have also had to given the suit to the brother.
To the brother, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
the main bad guy goes to his brother,
Yeah.
calls him up, says, hey bro, I got a job, calls him up, gives him the suit, explains what's happening, all while she literally was following him in a car. A wrecked, well, maybe her car died, because when you smash a radiator on a car,
Yeah.
and it loses all of its coolant, which was on the ground,
Yeah.
it's really hard to drive it.
Yeah. You could drive for a little bit.
Yeah, you got like a solid 500 yards.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
maybe they were
and
just really close.
also
All of
this-
it happened in, like, the brother lived next to the psych ward, and then the cop lived next to the brother. So, like, it all happened within 150
Yeah.
yards.
Well, okay. Another problem I just realized too with this whole scene is that he would have had to expect to fail, right?
Yes.
Because if he was like, oh well, because you've done this, I'm gonna go kill your that little girl,
Yeah.
and then he's like, hey, let me get my brother to do that because it's probably not gonna work out great.
Yeah.
But is that because
But-
he knew, like, oh, she's going to call in reinforcements, this might not go well, I need a backup plan? and then he basically concocts it real quick, and then gets himself home, gets himself tied up and shit, and then
hold on. What about that? Because it was him.
Well,
there's
it was
like
a few
there's
hours later they got him out of the
This
house.
is what
No,
I'm
what I'm
saying.
saying,
They
though.
were using both suits at this moment. This is how that happens. He was in his suit. His brother had his own suit.
there was only 2 suits.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's saying
So he
that-
said, "Hey, that's how he got to the other place so
All right.
fast."
We're just trying to
Yeah.
figure
Yeah,
out a
that's true.
shitty movie.
He
It's
basically
just a
tricked
plot
his
hole.
brother, and he's like, "Hey, I need you to kill this girl. Yeah, this little girl. I
We
can't
don't know
make
how
it there
many
in
suits
time."
there are.
That's
Huh?
true. There could have
We
been
don't
a
know.
third
There could have
suit.
been 40 suits.
Yeah.
The dude might
There's-
he might have to take him to the laundry cleaners every time because he sweats a lot of them.
Yeah.
So like he's got to take him. They're like, "What the fuck is this suit?" And he's
Yeah.
like, "Listen, just clean it. It's my camera suit. It's for porn."
Yeah.
So
It's for really advanced 360-degree porn. God.
and then can we discuss how strong this motherfucker is?
Oh my God.
The cop.
I thought he had
is,
superpowers.
This
That was
cop,
weird.
yeah, is like, and they're like, he's 6 foot. Dude was way over 6 foot. Dude is like a solid 6'4", easy, and easy cutting it out at like 250.
Yeah.
Dude was ripped, and then this dude who's probably a solid 6 inches under him is just laying him to death.
I mean,
And
what
it's
I-
not even him; it's the brother who's a wormy little lawyer.
Well, yes, but what I will say is that when you're fighting something invisible, it is really hard to fight it back.
That's fine. I get that. But like
But
5
when you
hits.
grab hold of,
Yeah, when you grab hold of
Yeah.
him, you've got him now.
Yeah.
And like,
true.
I
Yeah.
get that the whole concept of fighting, but it's not the superhuman camera suit man.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, it's the brother who's a lawyer he looks like a slime ball.
Yeah.
He doesn't go to the gym.
Maybe
He's
sometimes.
a Harvey Weinstein.
All
He
right.
goes to the court and uses his walker. That's how he does it.
All right. So, I think we can be finished trying to justify this
Yeah.
film. I didn't dislike it.
Until we
I
started
did,
ripping it apart.
That's true. Well, I also still don't dislike it. The thing is,
Yeah.
plot holes. When I'm in a movie, I'm not analyzing plot holes 99% of the time.
I just
I'm
get
just
the-
letting things happen.
Yeah.
And I'm also not trying to figure out the movie necessarily while I'm watching it. Sometimes when it is just kind of a dumb movie, I'm just
Yeah,
going,
that's true.
yeah. She's on the way to his house. I don't think, but how could she do that if these 3 factors are true? I'm just going, yeah, he's gonna go kill that little girl.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it was the brother the whole time.
Yeah.
And then
Well, I
I'm
guess
just-
that's true because like in the movie I wasn't thinking of that.
Yeah.
I was like, this makes sense.
Yeah.
And then once you get out, you're like, wait a minute, that's not true.
The thing that drove me, another thing that drove me nuts was she's like trying to tell them, hey, he's haunting me, or, you know, whatever. And they
Yeah.
instantly, people that have known her whole life, instant like, you're fucking crazy, get away from me. It's like, this
Yeah.
person clearly abused you. And my first gut reaction is going to be, you're crazy, get away.
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
it's just
but-
like, are you fucking kidding
But
me?
she also clearly has PTSD. And
Yeah.
think about it this way: if you knew somebody that clearly had PTSD, that had that struggled to go outside for weeks, and then her husband dies, there's no more threat, and then she goes, "He's in the room with me." Be like, okay. Like, I think
Yeah,
that's
but you're not
reasonable.
gonna say stay away from me, or you're gonna say,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
we need,
Yeah.
Oh,
Let me
we
help.
need- yeah,
you.
I
the
need to at
sister.
least ask, just at least one more question before
Yeah.
I dismiss you.
The sister was the shittiest because the sister got an awful email from her sister.
Yeah.
Her sister
Completely
shows up
out
at
of
her door.
character.
Yeah, completely out of character. Sister shows up at the door and says, "That wasn't me." Okay, clearly your sister is now crazy.
No, not even
Right.
that. But who was adamant she did not send an
Yes.
email and goes, I didn't, like, if somebody sent me a text message that was like a real shitty text message, and then I like called them and they're like, I didn't send you a text, I'd be like, I wouldn't be like, you fucking liar.
You're
Yeah.
crazy.
You're
You're
insane.
crazy.
Yeah.
But even if the assumption is, oh, my sister has gone crazy, the first thing you do is put her
Shut
on the
them out.
street. You just go, oh, my sister is so insane. She
Yeah.
just sent me a hateful email that said that I should have died instead of her abusive
Yeah,
husband.
yeah.
Clearly something is wrong. Let's get you somewhere safe,
Yeah.
right? Get inside, have some water. Let's talk about this, right?
Yeah.
But no, she's like, fuck you because of your shitty email. It's like, are you... So that was the
Yeah.
craziest thing.
And
sorry.
then he hits
Oh,
he
God.
hits the little girl,
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
She's leaning back on the ground, like not anywhere near her. The little girl's looking directly at her, gets punched in the face, and she's like, "She hit me."
Yeah.
And be like, "How?
Yeah.
How did
Yeah.
she hit you? Explain to me
Yeah.
with your own
How
eyes."
and why? We're just about to go get cake. It's like, oh yeah, it's like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
well, and actually, one plot hole I did analyze in the movie. I say I don't analyze plot holes in the movie, but
They're
one
so
plot
bad.
hole. One plot hole was whenever she cut her sister's throat. Right? Was there not a single goddamn camera in
That's
that
what I was
restaurant?
thinking the entire
Yeah.
time.
Dude.
I was like, just sit there and tell him, please go check the security footage.
Yeah, because
Because
clearly
it's floating
yeah,
knife.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially because the knife was like very clearly floating too.
Can we also discuss where the fuck he had a knife that it got in through the building?
It's his prison pocket.
That's my point. Is this dude does the suit obviously has boy pockets and not girl pockets because
Yeah.
the boy pockets you could fit a Nintendo Switch inside of it,
Yes.
and girl pockets aren't there. So obviously he has his nice big baggy cargo shorts on underneath of the suit
Exactly.
because he's got to hide a 19-inch knife.
Well,
The thing
now-
is like it's a sushi knife, so it's
Yeah.
that extra long sushi knife.
True. He could have picked it up off of a very, very close
No.
table.
It's the same one that
It's
she
the one
from the
immediately
kitchen.
from the attic.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
It's in a plastic bag. I'm like, oh, he's gonna use that to kill somebody and
Yeah.
frame her.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was
And
like,
then-
oh,
and
this
then
is great.
it-
I can see this coming from a
More
mile
evidence
away.
of, hey, she's not actually crazy, is I took photographs of her on a phone because
Yeah.
everyone
Why
has
would
a
you
great
not
time
immediately
being
take that phone and say, look at this.
Proof.
This motherfucker's
Proof.
taking pictures of me
proof. Yeah,
on his phone.
Because
Don't know how it got here.
I know when people have psychotic breaks, what they do is they set up tripod mounts with a remote camera, lay in bed with someone, fall asleep, clearly asleep, and then take remote pictures. Get up, disassemble the entire thing.
Take multiple pictures laying in the exact same
Yeah,
position perfectly.
Yeah. So
And seconds
Okay.
apart because those
Yeah.
photos are definitely
we're
timestamped.
picking apart the
All
movie
right,
to
so,
death.
okay,
We're ripping
all right.
it apart.
All right, Mike. Rotten Tomatoes score.
It's definitely better than the other Blumhouse
Yes.
film we saw.
Oh, for sure.
It was definitely better because this one was definitely R-rated R.
I don't think.
100% R. There was throat slicings.
So. Oh, yeah, I guess.
And
you're
then
right.
and suicides and all kinds of
Yeah,
blood.
okay,
So
fair.
yeah, it was definitely rated R.
It just didn't really have any language. Oh, he said motherfucker at one point. So yeah,
Yeah,
no, I was
yeah.
thinking like there wasn't enough language because I feel like
Yeah.
that defines a movie.
There's
a lot
definitely
of
no
the time.
nudity.
No.
So that's usually the giveaway
Yeah.
of
All
R-rated.
right. Yeah, that's fair. It's
I'm
probably
gonna
rated R.
say it's a 31.
31.
Ryan?
I'm gonna go with the 28. My original 28.
Yeah.
You're like the Price is Right king over here.
I
Fine.
said it before we went to the movie. I said 28 to 30, and I'm
Okay.
going
All right,
solid
I'll
28.
give you that one.
Fine. Well, I was when you said 31, I was like, that's kind of right on the money where I'm at too. So I'll go 30. Well, I don't want to Price is Right everybody
You're
else.
gonna
but,
be above or below one of us.
well,
Unless you want 30.
I'll go 35. I'll go
35?
35.
Okay.
All
Are
right.
you gonna look it up?
The Invisible Man. The Rotten Tomatoes score is what? It got a 90.
No.
No.
There's
that's a
no
different-
way.
That's a different movie.
90.
No, that's a different movie. That can't-
2020, The Invisible Man.
There's no way.
90% on Rotten
That's
Tomatoes.
not a 90.
It is.
No,
my
it's
God.
not. There's so many issues
We're
with that
fucking in
movie.
the Twilight Zone right now.
There's
The
so many
Invisible Man.
issues.
Critics' consensus: smart, well acted, and above all, scary. The Invisible Man proves that
It
sometimes
wasn't scary.
I'm reading.
I know you're reading.
The
I'm
Invisible
just
Man
saying.
proves that sometimes the classic source material for a fresh reboot can be hiding in plain sight. Audience score 89%, critic score 90%.
No. There's too many issues.
There is quite a few issues.
There's too many issues. Like, I get that if you just want to go into a movie and turn your brain off and like watch a horror film.
Or fucking-
But like those
Put a bullet
movies,
in
I
your
also
head.
give them not a great rating because I compare them to everything else that's in
Yeah.
movies. Like you can't be like, oh man, Citizen Kane, 95, The Invisible Man, 90. Like there is a big ocean between those two movies.
But it's also, once again, RT is just, would you see it or not? And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did. I'm glad we
What
watched
is the?
it. I liked
what
it. I
is-
liked watching it.
Can we get a different score on this one? What is
Yeah.
the Metacritic score?
Yeah.
I want to know the Metacritic.
Well, the
number.
audience score.
I know the audience score, but again, it's just a 50-50.
True.
So would you see it? Because I would say yes. I would watch this movie.
Yes.
I would say yes, I would watch this movie. But that doesn't mean it's good.
No, that's true.
I've seen The Room. Back to that. I've
Back
seen
to
The
Are we
Room.
talking about The
Bring
Room?
it
Yeah.
Every single recording.
Yeah.
All right,
So,
it's got a 71 on Metacritic.
God, I can't take it. I can't take this. I disagree wholeheartedly.
It definitely was. I liked watching it, and I was kind of like,
Not at
whoa. And then, and I'm like, every step I'm like, yeah, whoa, things are happening. And then now afterwards you're analyzing it, and it's like, yeah, there was like a million plot holes. It wasn't really that original because it's reused source material.
It reminded me of, I'm sure the original Invisible Man story, the guy went crazy. I think he did go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was called The Invisible Man, though. I think it was called Hollow Man, maybe. The original one, the book. The whole time I kept being like, when is Kevin Bacon's dick going to show up? The whole time, because it was the same goddamn story.
Yeah.
Except
yeah, Hollow Man was straight. It was literally just especially. Do you think it was an homage when they pulled the sheets off in that way, like just like Hollow Man?
Maybe.
Because literally, I was just talking about
thinking about that too,
scene,
yeah.
and I literally watched the sheets come off. I'm like, oh my god, this is Hollow Man.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was basically Hollow Man too. It was
All right.
pretty much identical.
Well, as a group, we disagree with the rating.
Yes.
Well,
which
Brad
means
might
that
not.
we're right and the critics are wrong.
We're right and all of society is wrong.
Correct.
I'm going to ignore the suit because you have to suspend disbelief.
Yes.
It just frustrated me. I'm going to ignore the car because it's movie magic that cars just run. It happens all the time. I've seen Fast and Furious movies. So ignoring those, was I entertained by the movie or not? It's a solid 5.
I was actually gonna give it a 5.2 inches of Kevin
You
Bacon.
people and your points. I didn't say of what. I'm going to give it a 5 functional cameras out of 10.
All right.
All right, I'm out of here.
Later.